Our planet is a world of contrasts. There are gentle landscapes, bathed in soft sunlight and blessed with plentiful rain. But there are also places of extraordinary harshness. Places where survival itself seems an impossible dream. What if I told you that these very spots, the most extreme corners of our world, are not empty at all? What if they are home to remarkable communities, filled with life, ingenuity, and a spirit that refuses to be extinguished? These are the frontiers of human endurance. They are the places where the story of our species is written not in ink, but in the daily struggle for existence against the overwhelming power of nature itself. A story of incredible strength and adaptation. Look closer, beyond the seemingly barren vistas. In the shimmering heat of the world's driest deserts, people have found ways to draw life from the sand. In the biting, relentless cold of the polar regions, families have thrived for countless generations, their lives woven into the fabric of the ice. High in the thin air of the world's greatest mountain ranges, where every breath is a challenge, vibrant cultures have blossomed. And on the most remote islands, surrounded by thousands of miles of unforgiving ocean, communities have built a world of their own. These are not just tales of survival, they are profound lessons in resilience, teaching us about our own capacity to overcome the greatest of challenges. The question is not simply how people survive here, but why. What draws humanity to the very edge of what is possible? Perhaps it is the challenge itself, the deep instinctual drive to adapt and to overcome. Or perhaps it is the unique and stark beauty that can only be found in these untamed places. The silence of a frozen desert, the brilliant canopy of stars in a sky free from city lights, the humbling scale of a mountain peak. In these environments, life is stripped down to its essentials: food, water, shelter, and community. And in that simplicity, a powerful and inspiring truth is revealed about the human condition. Let us journey to these incredible locations. We will meet the people who call them home. We will witness their clever solutions, born from centuries of shared knowledge and deep respect for the world around them. We will see how they build their homes, find their food, and raise their children in conditions that would seem utterly impossible to most of us. Their stories are a testament to the remarkable flexibility of our species. They show us that with ingenuity, cooperation, and an unbreakable will, humanity can not only endure but flourish, turning the harshest spots on Earth into thriving, unlikely havens of life. The Arctic, a vast white wilderness that stretches across the top of our world. For much of the year, it is a realm of profound cold, where temperatures can plummet to unimaginable depths. The sun may disappear for months on end, plunging the landscape into a long, dark polar night. The wind howls across the frozen sea, carrying with it a chill that can freeze exposed skin in mere moments. This is one of the most unforgiving environments on Earth. Yet for thousands of years, the Inuit people have called this frozen expanse their home. Their survival here is one of the greatest stories of human adaptation ever told, a masterpiece of knowledge passed down through generations. Finding food in this landscape is a formidable challenge. The frozen ground offers little in the way of agriculture. Instead, life depends entirely on the hunt. The Inuit have developed an intimate understanding of the animals they share this world with. They can read the subtle signs in the snow and ice that tell them where seals have made breathing holes. They know the migration patterns of the caribou and the seasonal habits of the polar bear. The hunt is not just a means of sustenance, it is a central part of their culture, a spiritual connection to the land and its creatures. Every part of the animal is used, a sign of deep respect for the life that has been given. The sea ice is the foundation of this existence. It is both a hunting ground and a highway, a platform from which to reach the rich resources of the ocean. The Inuit have a vocabulary with dozens of words for snow and ice, each describing a specific condition that is critical for survival. They understand its textures, its sounds, and its dangers with a precision that is simply astonishing. Knowing which ice is safe to travel on and which might break is a matter of life and death. This deep traditional knowledge is the key that unlocks the bounty of the Arctic, allowing people to live in a place that would otherwise be completely uninhabitable for humans. But this ancient way of life is now facing its greatest challenge. Our warming planet is changing the Arctic faster than any other place on Earth. The sea ice, the very foundation of Inuit culture and survival, is shrinking and becoming less predictable. The animals they depend on are changing their patterns, and the traditional knowledge built over millennia is being tested as never before. The resilience of the Inuit is now a story not just of surviving the cold, but of adapting to a world that is transforming beneath their feet, a poignant reminder of the delicate balance between humanity and the natural world. In a land where the cold is a constant predator, shelter is more than just a home. It is a fortress against the elements. The traditional image that comes to mind is the igloo, a dome built from blocks of snow, and it is a marvel of engineering. Snow, paradoxically, is an excellent insulator. The tightly packed blocks trap air, creating a barrier that can keep the inside temperature many degrees warmer than the brutal cold outside. A small oil lamp is often enough to create a space that is not just survivable, but comfortable. The genius of the igloo lies in its use of the very material that defines the harshness of the environment, snow itself, to create a sanctuary of warmth. The construction of an igloo is a precise art, a skill passed from father to son. The snow must be of the right consistency, firm enough to be cut into strong blocks but not so hard that it becomes brittle. The blocks are cut with a long knife made from bone or ivory and laid in an inward spiraling circle, each layer leaning slightly further in until they meet at the top. A single keystone block locks the entire structure into place. A small tunnel entrance, built lower than the main floor, traps the warmer air inside, preventing it from escaping. Within hours, a hunter can construct a shelter that will protect him from a raging blizzard. Of course, igloos were often temporary shelters, used during hunting expeditions. More permanent homes were traditionally built from other available materials, such as stone, driftwood, and whalebone, covered with sod and animal skins. These structures were partially dug into the ground to benefit from the Earth's insulation. Like the igloo, they were designed with low entrances to keep heat in. Inside, a raised sleeping platform kept the family away from the coldest air, which would settle on the floor. These homes were the center of community life during the long, dark winters, places for storytelling, sharing food, and reinforcing the social bonds that are so crucial for survival. Today, many Inuit live in modern, prefabricated houses in established communities. But the principles of survival remain the same. Clothing is still a critical form of personal shelter. The traditional garments, made from caribou or seal skin, are masterpieces of design. 2 layers of fur are worn, one with the fur facing in and one with it facing out, trapping a layer of air that provides incredible insulation. Boots, called kamiks, are made from waterproof sealskin and lined with insulating grasses or fur. This technology, perfected over centuries, allows a person to stay warm and dry even in the most extreme conditions, a testament to the ingenuity born from necessity. From the biting cold of the Arctic, we travel to its opposite, the searing heat of the great deserts, the Sahara in Africa, the Atacama in South America, the vast sandy expanses of the Arabian Peninsula. These are some of the hottest and driest places on our planet. Here, the sun is a relentless force. Daytime temperatures can soar to levels that are dangerous for any living thing. The air is stripped of moisture, and the land appears utterly void of life. Survival in this environment is a constant battle against dehydration and heat, a challenge that has shaped the lives of desert peoples like the Tuareg and the Bedouin for centuries. The key to life here is not to fight the heat, but to adapt to it. Activity ceases during the hottest part of the day. People and animals rest in the shade, conserving precious energy and water. The rhythm of life is dictated by the sun. The cool hours of the early morning and the evening are the times for travel and for work. The clothing worn by desert nomads is a perfect example of this adaptation. The long flowing robes and headscarves may seem counterintuitive in the heat, but they serve a vital purpose. They shield the skin from the direct burning rays of the sun and create a microclimate of cooler air next to the body, a clever and effective form of personal air conditioning. The camel is the ultimate desert companion. It is often called the ship of the desert, and for good reason. This remarkable animal is superbly adapted to this harsh world. It can drink enormous quantities of water when it is available and then survive for long periods without it. Its wide, flat feet allow it to walk on soft sand without sinking, and its long eyelashes and closable nostrils protect it from blowing sand. For nomadic peoples, the camel is not just a mode of transport. It is a source of milk, wool, and leather. It is a lifeline, making it possible to cross the vast waterless distances between oases, the precious islands of green in a sea of sand. Life in the desert fosters a deep sense of community and hospitality. In such a vast and empty landscape, encountering another person is a significant event. The traditions of offering water, food, and shelter to a traveler are not just customs. They are essential survival strategies. An individual alone has little chance against the desert, but as a community, sharing resources and knowledge, people can thrive. This interdependence is the social glue that holds desert societies together. It is a powerful reminder that in the face of overwhelming environmental challenges, our greatest strength often lies in our ability to cooperate and care for one another. In the desert, water is more valuable than gold. It's the single most critical factor for survival, and honestly, the entire structure of life revolves around finding and conserving it. Permanent settlements can only exist where there is a reliable source, like, an oasis fed by an underground spring or aquifer. These green patches are true hubs of life, places where date palms can be cultivated and communities can really flourish. But for nomads who move across those vast empty quarters, the search for water is a constant and vital quest. Their very lives depend on an encyclopedic knowledge of the landscape, passed down through countless generations. These desert dwellers possess a mental map of their territory that is astonishingly detailed. They know the location of every hidden well, every seasonal water hole, and every plant that might signal the presence of moisture beneath the surface. They can navigate by the stars at night and by the subtle shifts in the direction of the wind-blown dunes by day. This isn't knowledge that can be learned from a book. It's a deep, intuitive understanding of the environment, gained through a lifetime of experience. They know how to dig for water in a dry riverbed or wadi, following instinct and ancient signs to find the life-giving liquid just beneath the sand. Even when water is found, it has to be used with extreme care. Every drop is precious. Techniques for conservation are woven into the fabric of daily life. Water used for washing might be collected and used to water a precious plant. Cooking methods are designed to minimize the loss of moisture through steam. The Tuareg people are famous for their sweet, strong mint tea, which is prepared in a highly ritualized way. While it may seem like a luxury, this ritual is also a practical way to rehydrate, replacing lost fluids and salts, while also providing a vital social occasion for sharing news and strengthening bonds within the group. Beyond wells and oases, desert people have learned to find water in the most unexpected places. Some plants store water in their roots or leaves, and knowing which of these are safe to consume can be a real lifesaver. In some coastal deserts like the Namib, a unique fog rolls in from the ocean. Specially adapted insects and people have actually learned to harvest this moisture from the air. The resilience of life in the desert is a story of incredible ingenuity, of finding abundance where there appears to be none. It teaches us to look closer, to see the hidden opportunities that exist even in the most barren of landscapes. Let us now ascend from the heat of the desert to the thin, cold air of the world's highest mountain ranges, the Himalayas, the Andes, the Ethiopian highlands. Here, The challenge is not just the cold or the rugged terrain, but the very air itself. As you climb higher, the atmosphere becomes thinner, and the amount of oxygen available in each breath decreases dramatically. For a visitor, this can lead to altitude sickness, a debilitating condition with symptoms like headaches, nausea, and extreme fatigue. Yet, for millions of people, these high-altitude environments are home. They have adapted, both culturally and biologically, to live where others can barely breathe. The Sherpa people of the Himalayas are perhaps the most famous high-altitude dwellers. For generations they have lived and worked in the shadow of Mount Everest. Their ability to perform incredible feats of strength and endurance at altitudes that would incapacitate most other people has long been a source of wonder. Scientific studies have revealed that their bodies are different. They don't necessarily have more red blood cells, as was once thought. Instead, their bodies are simply more efficient at using the limited oxygen that is available. Their lungs have a greater capacity, and their circulation is better adapted to the thin air. This is evolution in action, a remarkable biological adaptation to an extreme environment. Daily life in these high mountain regions is physically demanding. The steep slopes make agriculture a challenge. People have developed ingenious terracing techniques, carving flat strips of land into the mountain sides to create small plots for growing crops like potatoes, barley, and quinoa. These crops are specifically suited to the short growing seasons and cold conditions of the high altitudes. Herding animals like yaks in the Himalayas or llamas and alpacas in the Andes is also a vital part of the economy. These hardy animals provide milk, wool, and transport, and are perfectly adapted to the steep terrain and thin air. Beyond the physical adaptations, there is a deep cultural and spiritual connection to the mountains. In many high-altitude societies, the peaks are considered sacred, the homes of gods and spirits. This reverence fosters a sense of respect and harmony with the environment. Festivals and rituals are tied to the seasons and the agricultural cycle. The challenging conditions also promote strong community bonds. People rely on each other for help with farming, herding, and building. Life at the roof of the world is a testament to how humans can adapt not just their bodies, but also their farming, their culture, and their society to thrive in the most breathtakingly beautiful and challenging landscapes on Earth. Living on the steep slopes of the world's great mountains requires a unique approach to finding and producing food. The soil is often thin, and flat land is a rare commodity. The solution developed independently by cultures in the Andes, the Himalayas, and elsewhere is terrace farming. This is an incredible feat of landscape engineering. By cutting step-like platforms into the mountainside, people create level areas where they can cultivate crops. These terraces not only provide space for planting, but also help to prevent soil erosion and manage the flow of water down the steep slopes. A clever and sustainable solution to a difficult problem. The choice of crops is just as important. At these altitudes, the growing season is short and the risk of frost is ever present. People have domesticated plants that are uniquely suited to these conditions. In the Andes, hundreds of varieties of potatoes are grown, each adapted to a specific altitude and soil type. Quinoa, a highly nutritious grain, also thrives in the thin air. In the Himalayas, hardy grains like barley and buckwheat are staples. These crops are the foundation of the high-altitude diet, providing the energy needed to live and work in such a demanding environment. This agricultural biodiversity is a vital insurance policy against disease or changing weather patterns. Animals also play a crucial role in the mountain economy. The yak in the Himalayas is a true mountain specialist. It provides rich milk, which is often made into butter and cheese, as well as dense wool for clothing and blankets. And its dung is a vital source of fuel for fires in a land where trees are scarce. In the Andes, llamas and alpacas serve a similar purpose. Llamas are used as pack animals, capable of carrying heavy loads up steep mountain paths, while alpacas are prized for their incredibly soft and warm fleece. These animals are more than just livestock. They are partners in survival, perfectly adapted to a vertical world. They hunt, though less central than in the Arctic, can still supplement the diet. Mountain goats and other hardy herbivores are elusive prey on the treacherous slopes, but a successful hunt provides a valuable source of protein. Foraging for wild plants, mushrooms, and medicinal herbs also requires an expert knowledge of the local ecosystem. Every part of the environment is understood and utilized. This holistic approach to sustenance, combining farming, herding, and foraging, demonstrates a deep and respectful relationship with the mountain. It is a system built on balance and an intimate understanding of the land's limits and its gifts. Perhaps the most extreme environment is not one of heat, cold, or altitude, but one of profound isolation. Imagine living on a tiny island in the middle of a vast ocean, with the nearest inhabited land over 1,000 miles away. This is the reality for the people of Tristan da Cunha, the most remote inhabited archipelago on Earth. Located in the South Atlantic Ocean, this small volcanic island is a world unto itself. Its survival is a story not of battling extreme temperatures, but of building a resilient and self-sufficient community in the face of immense distance and limited resources. The community on Tristan da Cunha, numbering fewer than 300 people, is descended from a small group of settlers who arrived in the 19th century. With such a small founding population, everyone on the island is related in some way, and the entire community functions like a single extended family. Cooperation is not just a virtue, it is the fundamental principle of their society. All land is communally owned, and families work together to plant potatoes, tend to their livestock, and maintain the settlement of Edinburgh of the Seven Seas. This collectivist approach ensures that everyone has what they need and that the island's limited resources are managed for the good of all. Life is dictated by the sea and the weather. The island has no natural harbor, so fishing boats and the occasional supply ship must anchor offshore, with goods and people ferried to the island in smaller boats. This is only possible when the notoriously rough seas of the South Atlantic are calm. The islanders are expert fishermen, and the Tristan rock lobster is their primary export, providing a vital source of income that allows them to import goods they cannot produce themselves, such as flour, sugar, and fuel. Their diet is based on what they can grow, mainly potatoes, and what they can catch from the sea. The isolation of Tristan da Cunha has fostered an incredible sense of self-reliance and ingenuity. When something breaks, it must be repaired with whatever materials are at hand. There is no option to simply order a replacement part. This has made the islanders resourceful mechanics, builders, and problem solvers. Their story teaches us a powerful lesson about community. In a world that is increasingly connected, yet often feels fragmented, the people of Tristan show us the strength that comes from relying on one another. Their survival is a testament to the power of social bonds and shared purpose in overcoming the profound challenge of isolation. From the frozen plains of the Arctic to the scorching sands of the Sahara, from the breathless peaks of the Himalayas to the most isolated island on the planet, we have seen that no place is too extreme for human life. These environments on the surface appear hostile and uninhabitable. They push life to its absolute limits with their crushing cold, relentless heat, thin air, and profound loneliness. Yet in each of these places, we have found not just survivors, but thriving communities with rich cultures, deep knowledge, and an unbreakable connection to their extraordinary homes. They are a living testament to the incredible adaptability of our species. What can we learn from these masters of survival? We learn that ingenuity is born from necessity. We see it in the elegant engineering of an igloo, the clever design of desert robes, the patient construction of mountain terraces. We learn the profound value of traditional knowledge, a library of wisdom passed down through generations, holding the keys to living in balance with a challenging world. Most importantly, we learn that our greatest strength is each other. In every extreme environment, the bonds of community, cooperation, and shared responsibility are what make the impossible possible. The lone individual cannot survive, but the family, the clan, the community can flourish. These stories are more than just fascinating tales of endurance. They hold a mirror up to our own modern lives. In a world where we often feel disconnected from nature, they remind us of our deep and fundamental relationship with the planet. In a society that can feel individualistic, they remind us of the power and importance of community. They show us that resilience is not just about toughness. It is about flexibility, knowledge, and the willingness to work together. The people of these extreme places demonstrate a form of wealth that cannot be measured in money, the wealth of a supportive community and a sustainable way of life. The human spirit, it seems, has an unquenchable fire. It finds a way to take root and blossom in the most unlikely of places. The stark beauty of these landscapes is matched only by the strength and resilience of the people who call them home. Their lives are a powerful and humbling reminder that even when faced with the greatest challenges our planet can offer, humanity does not just endure. It adapts, it innovates, and it thrives. The story of survival in the world's most extreme places is, in the end, the story of the indomitable strength of the human heart, which finds a way to build a home, even where life itself seems impossible.